Hello guys, welcome back to another streaming movie review, and today we are going to be reviewing Turning Red. Turning Red is the brand new Pixar movie and it has been released exclusively on Disney+. It's not getting a cinema release, the same as Luca didn't have one, and I also believe Soul didn't have a cinema release. I think the last Pixar film was actually Onward, which actually had a cinema release, which I think is a real shame, especially things like Soul and Luca. They were like amazing films. I love both of those. And yeah, it's just a real shame now that Disney had just decided to put new Pixar movies over on Disney+. I think it's a real shame. Anyways, Turning Red is the story of this young girl who basically is a teenager. Growing up, you know, she wants to go and see her favourite boy band and, you know, all this type of stuff. She has friends, and how she acts around her mum is very different to how she acts around her friends, of course. We've all done it. And she basically is, like her mum runs this like temple thing type of thing, or mum and dad run this like temple thing, like for tourists in Canada. And she is part of this family which has this like curse and turns them into giant red pandas. It turns all the women into giant red pandas. Basically, like, one of the ancestors like wished it upon them so they could protect them. That wish was made during like a war or something, like way back when. And now obviously it doesn't really fit into society to just turn into a panda one day and then turn back to normal type of thing. But I will say this Pixar film does fall short for me. It's not one of the best Pixar films, but you know, when you compare it to things like, you know, all the other car films, I think it's better than those. But it didn't feel like a classic Pixar film. It didn't feel like Luca made me feel. Luca was full of emotion. I was really like engrossed in the story. It was really good. Things like Soul as well, like just really grasped me, and even Onward, which, you know, was up and down. Those films are the newer side of Pixar, I guess, what they're trying to do, which they've said they're not doing sequels, they want to do new things from now on. I think this is the worst one of those ones since Onward. Hasn't been great. Luca was fantastic. Soul was brilliant. This just really fell short for me. I will say there was definitely some anime inspiration in this film. You know, there's some shots of, you know, when like she's like, her eyes are like, you know, something's cute or whatever, you know, it was like, oh my god, and her eyes had like glistenings in her eyes, and there was definitely some animation type of things. I also noticed with like tears, there was a lot of tears in this movie, and that looked like stop motion in terms of the actual water running down the face, which I felt was a bit un-Pixar like in terms of the natural, normal looking, you know, animated. It was actually looked more like stop motion, I thought. But yeah, story wise though, it just wasn't for me. I really didn't. I was in the film for the first like hour and 5 minutes, and then towards the end then there's something that happens which is just ridiculous in terms of her mum, and yeah, it just didn't make sense. It just really lost me at that point of the movie, and I was really enjoying it up until then. But right from the off, it just didn't feel like a Pixar film. And when you're reviewing and talking about Pixar films make you feel a certain way. Toy Story makes you feel a certain way, and this didn't make me feel that way. I didn't have really any empathy for the character. Didn't have any emotion to it. It just felt a different Pixar film altogether. It felt anime. It just felt different, you know, and it's hard to say, but once you've watched it, you kind of make sense, I think. It's not the worst Pixar film in the world, though. It did look fantastic visually, and, you know, we had it watching in Dolby Vision. It looked great. You know, the fur on the panda just looked fantastic, and, you know, everything. But the thing that held it down for me was this script was just really bad, and it just felt a bit like a DreamWorks film in a way, and you don't want that from a Pixar film at all. Rating this movie though, I'm going to rate this a 6 out of 10. It's unfortunate. I probably will give it another go in a few months, and of course I am getting all the Pixar films, so I will be picking this up at some point, but it won't be a day one pickup. It'll definitely be like a 2 for 30 deal or whatever, but yeah, maybe then I'll give it another watch. But right now, first watch, I didn't really enjoy it. I'd recommend people do check it out because, like I said, I don't think it's as bad as The Good Dinosaur, Cars 2, Cars 3. It's not like the worst Pixar film, but I just can't believe that on Rotten Tomatoes it's like 95%. I don't think it's like better than Luca. Like, there's absolutely no way, in my opinion, it's better than Luca. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame. I was looking forward to it. It looked quite good. It looks appealing. And yeah, it just didn't grasp me enough. There's also Phineas and Billie Eilish. They basically did some music for it. They could have not been involved. Like, it didn't even matter. You couldn't even tell that Phineas was one of the guys of the band. That didn't make any sense to me. So yeah, don't be sold by that because it just didn't make sense. But there it is. There is my review of Turning Red. Probably the most anticipated movie of the month, which, you know, has fell short really. So yeah, pretty unfortunate. But yeah, 6 out of 10 for Turning Red. Let me know your thoughts on the movie down below. Have you seen it? Are you going to see it? Let me know. And of course, subscribe, like, and share the video. And I'll see you in the next one coming soon. Goodbye.